All right, people. So we had the weigh-in for Fabio Wardley versus Justice Huni. Tomorrow night we will be going live. We're doing a live watch along. We'll probably go live around about the co-main, which is what we normally do. We try and get the co-main in, so we're probably looking at about an 8 p.m., 8:30 start for the live watch along. Yeah, let's talk about this. Before I go into the weigh-ins, right? I would just go over the weights. Nothing out of the ordinary in terms of the weights, to be honest with you, thank God. It seems like lately we've been getting, certain with heavyweight fights, it's been either massively lighter or massively heavier in some cases. But this is quite routine. I feel like fight week this week, it's going to be a sellout. We know that. So Portman Road, we're looking at 20,000. I suppose maybe it's not a sellout, but we're looking at a good 20,000 fans in Portman Road, which is that's very good. So we're happy with that. What I would say is that the initial, it's not to say it's bad, right? It's not. I'm not having a negative, go with this or anything like that. But the initial hype we had for this show was from Jarrell Miller selling it, because obviously he was meant to be the original opponent. And for me, like, Jarrell Miller at a press conference, at any press conference, is must watch, I should really say. I gave the presser a miss yesterday. And I'm just curious about the weigh-ins and just give my reaction to how guys look. But realistically, you really, I think the hype this week hasn't been where it was at the start, because Justice Huni, not his fault, he's not that kind of a, oh god, bombastic sort of character like Jarrell Miller is. He's an antagonist in the truest sense of the word. He will get you watching and, saying we don't like him, but yet you'll still watch him. That's what he is. Whereas Justice Huni, Fabio Wardley, it's been reserve build up, to say the least. Very much so. And I hope that doesn't make for a bad fight. I don't think it will. I think we're in for a good fight. Let's look at the weights and let's just discuss. So, £5 weight difference in favour of Justice Huni. Justice Huni is £248. Fabio Wardley is £243. In terms of where both guys, as I said at the start of the video, there's nothing out of the ordinary in terms of weights. Last time out, Fabio Wardley was 141 and a half, so he's a pound and a half heavier, which is nothing. He has weighed 243. He weighed that for the first Fraser Clark fight. You look throughout the course of his career, it's been 143, 141, 142 against Michael Coffey, 140 against Nathan Gorman, Chris Healy, 238. So he's been pretty much after he fought Chris Healy. Because if you look earlier in his career when he was fighting the likes of Richard Latte, Simon Vallily, 224. So he's gone up 20 pounds in the last 4 years. That was on a fight camp show against Simon Vallily. So yeah, he's gone up a good, I think that 243 might be a career heaviest, which it is, but it's a joint career heaviest and it's nothing that makes you raise an eyebrow. So you've seen with Wardley, and that makes sense. He would have been 25 5 years ago, he's 30 now. So you see with heavyweights, Alexander Usyk kind of being the exception. For the most part, they tend to, especially the bigger heavyweights, because, I think he's a fairly decent sized heavyweight as Fabio Wardley, but they tend to maybe weigh in the 220s, 230s in their early to mid 20s, and as they age, you see weight tend to come on. It's always been the case. Lennox Lewis, I think Lennox Lewis early in his career was in the 220s, and by the end of his career, when he was, because there was times he let himself, like against Klitschko, like against Hasim Rahman, where you could see it wasn't that he was in bad shape, but he hadn't trained as hard and he was coming in heavy. But when he was in the 240s, kind of like lowish 240s, that was perfect weight for him. You see it with plenty of fighters as well. Dubois is another example. Justice Huni, on the other hand, as I said, 248. That's an increase of 7 pounds from his last fight. He was 241. It was 241 actually in his last couple of fights, but he has been 247 before. He was 247 against Troy Pitchell back in July last year. Against Kevin Lorena, see all those UDs. He was 243 pounds. And I have to say, in that fight against Kevin Lorena, he didn't look good. I did question his gas tank in that fight and his punch resistance. All right. And you look at his resume, it really shows to me he's not the biggest puncher, because you've got 10-round decision. Paul Gannon, who was a rugby player, I think he was a rugby player anyway. I know he was a different combat or a different sport before boxing. It wasn't combat. That was his 10th round stoppage. And when did he stop? After a minute in the 10th round. 10 round UD, 10 round UD, 10 round UD, 10 round UD. And then his kind of level has really dropped. Like, it's really dropped in his last couple of fights. Like, really dropped. So he's been getting rid of the guys. So, yeah, not an indication that we're even dealing with a particularly big puncher here in Justice Huni. So, nothing out of the ordinary in terms of the weigh-ins. As I said, I like this fight. I think that Fabio Wardley should win, but it's going to be an interesting fight at the start. I think that when he's fresh, when he's got a bit of mobility, not that he's got bad mobility, that's probably the wrong way of saying it, but when he's fresh and his legs have that, springiness in them, I think Justice Huni's going to look quite good. I think he's going to look awkward. I think you're going to see, or at least you should see, the difference. We've seen it before with Fabio Wardley. When someone's been an experienced amateur or has competed at a decent level as an amateur, they're well schooled. So you will see them have an advantage probably early on in terms of just pure technique. Hasn't helped any of them. Ask Fraser Clark. He knows all about that. So I think that eventually he's going to get worn down and stopped, is Justice Huni. But I'm looking forward to this fight nonetheless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. We have the weigh-ins. Are you surprised? Are you shocked? In terms of how they both looked aesthetically, again, I didn't think either of them looked particularly bad. Again, these are not weights that are out of the ordinary. They're not out of. It's not like we're looking at one and thinking, oh my god, that's a bit of an eyebrow raiser. You're weighing 15, 20 pounds heavier than you normally do. Nothing out of the ordinary in that sense. I think we're in for a good fight tomorrow night. I will reiterate it because I really am disappointed that we're not getting it. I would have preferred to see Jarrell Miller in there. I think even the Matchroom Queensbury aspect hasn't really... It's not that it hasn't captivated the fans, because obviously, as I said, 20,000 fans will be in Portman Road for this. But I think that first press conference they did back in April with Miller, it just, take my money. Even though it's not pay-per-view, take my money, I'm sold. I'm still sold, but it's like, alright, that initial, oh my god, must watch, is just kind of, okay, I'll watch. It's not the, it's the, okay. So it's just that takes, for me anyway, that kind of takes away a little bit, I think. But I still think we're going to get a good fight tomorrow night. We will be doing a live watch along at quarter at about 8 p.m, 8:30 tomorrow. I'll be locked in. Hopefully you guys will as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Has this changed your perception anyway? Again, nothing out of the ordinary, but let me know your thoughts nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. Peace. Oh, and just as a side note, on screen, we just did a video talking about this fight, Justice Huni, Fabio Wardley, but I didn't tell you where you can watch it. I'll be watching it on DAZN, and you can also watch it on DAZN, the global home of world boxing, 150 fights per year. Plus, we got Jay Apataya on Sunday morning as well. So we got a lot on this weekend. The link will be in the description. The G-Man link to DAZN will be in the description. Go over there, give it a look. I've even got some content up there myself in the Best of Social tab. People, DAZN, global home of world boxing. Give it a look, give it a click, give it all that stuff. It only takes a split second. Peace.